Yeah, you guys have seen this here before. La Rioja Alta is an institution here at Wine Exchange, and for good reason. It's one of the world's greatest wineries. Had the pleasure of visiting the place multiple times. Each time I come away just more and more impressed, and the wines just simply keep getting better and better and better. Now, there's a great story with this today, and the story is tied into our history with the brand, such as it is. Because, you know, the whole Rioja thing really got kicking here in America, really got kicking with like the 94 vintage. And at that time, Rioja Alta didn't have like a huge presence here. They were here, but kind of half here, just like a lot of classic Rioja producers. The market was soft, Rioja hadn't sold well in America for a couple decades, and there really wasn't that much going on. So it was only until basically the breakthrough wine here with La Rioja Alta was like their 2001 Viña Ardonza. And I remember selling a bit of the 2000 Viña Ardonza Reserva from Rioja Alta and being like, man, this wine's pretty good. Who are these guys? And you know, it was just all pretty new to us too, 20 years ago. And basically, the next year, the 2001, had a Selección Especial stamp on it. And we said, oh, what's this all about? And they said, well, we only do the Selección Especial wines in very, very particular vintages. Okay, let's rewind a little bit. Rioja Alta, classic Rioja, Reserva, Gran Reserva, aged in old barrels, extended period of time, multiple rackings, creates this wine of compelling elegance, intensity, refinement, silky tannins, drinkable now, but yet fully mature and capable of aging for decades longer. Some of the greatest wines produced in the world of fine wine. We drink a ton of them. Now, they only do the special wines in certain vintages anyway. So it's not like a lot of producers that make a certain wine every year. They don't do that. Like they only do it in certain years, and they'll skip the bad ones. They'll totally skip the bad ones. Into the 2001 Ardonza, they were like, well, once in a while, the wines are even better than great. And we're like, better than great? Senor, please elaborate. That rhymes. And they said, yes, in certain years, the game is so high, the game is so on, that it's a Special. It's like the reserve version of the reserve. And we're like, wow, that's pretty cool. That 2001 Ardonza, that was a reserve version of the reserve, we sold hundreds of cases, one of the greatest selling wines in Wine Exchange history. Fabulous, fabulous wine. We drink cases and cases and cases. And the funny thing, they had only done that designation prior to that only twice before, 64 and 73. Then it did in 01, and then they did it in 10. But they only did it with the Ardonza. Their upper level wine, their 904, had never had a Selección Especial designation. And we're kind of wondering why. And I think the why was they're even more particular when they make this as they are when they make their Ardonza Reserva, i.e. the Gran Reserva is even more finicky. For example, this is the 2015 904. They hadn't made this wine since 2011. So they skipped 12, 13, and 14. Those three vintages were not good enough to even make this wine. Then boom, 2015 happens. Now, 2015, terrific vintage in Rioja. But even more terrific for Rioja Alta. The stars aligned. Everything fell into place with these wines. And what we have in 2015 is the first ever Rioja Alta Bin 904 Gran Reserva Selección Especial. The first. That's Rioja Alta basically saying, this is probably the greatest Bin 904 we've ever made. And when a winery like that says something like that and gives a wine like this, that designation, you know they're serious. And you know the wine's serious. And boy, is this wine serious. But it's like seriously good. What a wine. It has the structure. I think what they were looking for was the structure of this wine, but with the suppleness of tannin, with the indelible mark of classic silky Rioja Alta wines, but with a sneaky structure that's going to allow this wine to evolve and maintain its deliciousness for decades, which they kind of already do anyway. But this one is doing it next level. I'll put this up there in any tasting with classified growth Bordeaux. Give me your third growths, give me your top Margaux, whatever. Let's get this in there. Let's see how we do. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. What a gorgeous wine. 98 points from Suckling if you're keeping score. plus a kind of stoic 95 from Luis Gutierrez and from Wine Advocate, who he doesn't like wine very much. But the thing is, he likes those lean, tart little buggers. That's his palate. It's all good. But basically the deal is, I think this wine might have been maybe too fleshy for him at this early stage. But he talks about how they think it has the requisite structure to go forever, and that the wine is just incredibly young right now, and that's why he only gave it 95 points. I think he's going to be revising that score in a few years. You know what I'm saying? These guys let you know when they hammer it out of the park. These guys, with their century of history, are not going to put Selección Especial on here unless they mean it. And my friends, this is a very Selección Especial. One of the greatest Spanish wines I've had in the last year. Sure, a little pricey maybe, but absolutely worth it in the context of world-class wine on a global level. This wine is a steal. So be sure to get some, treasure it, love it, give it a big hug. I love you, Rioja. And as James Suckling says, well, Patrick, yes, drink it, but also as James Suckling says, buy it by the case.